Silkway 2021 is the 11th edition of the famous rally. The Silkway Marathon was first held in 2009 and has since become one of the most difficult and intense international rallies. And since this year, the Silkway has also become a round of the Rally Raid World Cup, a competition of the highest rank. By scale, Silkway is in no way inferior to the legendary Dakar rally, and to win Silkway is important and prestigious, but above all, points are gained for the prizes, and they are multiplied by 1.5, so the best racers and teams of the planet, drivers and motorcyclists, come to the challenge time after time, because Silkway is not only the FIA Automobile Cup stage but also the FIM Motorcycling Cross Country Rally World Championship stage. This time 90 crews came on start. 46 on off-road vehicles, 27 on motorcycles and 17 on trucks. And every vehicle is a real engineering marvel, the best there is in the world. The power of SUVs, for example, is around 400 horsepower, and the maximum speed of these projectiles on off-road is more than 200 km per hour. The power of trucks, just imagine, 1000 horsepower, and they too can rush through the prairies at 200 or even more. The GAZ Raid Sport team put up 5 powerful vehicles for the race. 2 GAZelles and 3 trucks Sadko Next 4x4. These vehicles are multiple national champions. Our escort also went on a trip, of course. We had 5 all-wheel drive Sobol trucks, the newest bus GAZelle Next, and 3 Ural Next trucks. In general, the whole Silkway rally caravan included more than 500 vehicles, 5 helicopters and 2 planes. What a scale! What a scope! In 2021, the organizers suggested a rich and interesting route. 10 racing days and 6,000 kilometers, 2 countries, 3 days in Russia and a week in the expanses of Mongolia. 3,000 kilometers of high-speed, so-called battle sections. When the racers don helmets, buckle up and step on accelerator, the speed is beyond limits. The feature of GAZ Raid Sport team is that the racing vehicles use serial components, those that are installed on conveyor: engines, axles, gearboxes, brakes, steering, cabs and frames. Of course, some things are reworked, because you can't do without it in sport, but the base is the conveyor units, such as engines. GAZelle NN runs with Cummins ISF 2.3 engine and Sadko Next 4x4 with YMZ 534 engine. These are the best engines of the current world automotive industry, including domestic. Engines were boosted up to 200 and 320 horsepower respectively, and mostly electronically via computer calibrations, not through hardware. The hardware here works properly as it should. Thus, such sport also checks reliability of the vehicles, evaluates the correctness of design solutions. After each competition, plant engineers thoroughly examine the vehicle and make changes to the design of serial ones, if necessary. So, Silkway Rally, start in Omsk, finish in Ulaanbaatar. Siberia greeted the rally with heat, plus 35 in the shade. There is terrible dust on the track. It is a real art to overtake the rival. Visibility is close to zero. But it's one thing to drive in the fields and open areas, the dust blows off here. And it's another thing to drive in the forest, where it stays for 5-10 minutes and the vehicles start one after another 1 minute apart. And there were enough forest sections in the Siberian part of the rally, more than enough, 200 kilometers at a time. Any mistake in piloting could be very expensive. You overdo with the speed and don't just fly into the field where you stop in one piece. You hit into solid trees, truck is wasted, and it's good if the crew survived unharmed. Sure, in such tough conditions, in the caravan of the rally, losses started at once. Not all could keep the pace, and high lows and dropped out of the race. On the second day, the rally broke into the vastness of Altai. No trees, spacious and wide, 2,000 meters above the sea level. The speeds are forbidding. That's the same place. That's how you get out. But we won't pull it, we can't. What do you want? You're gonna help load it? Absolutely. The next day, the Silkway was supposed to cross the border and start a week-long marathon in Mongolia. But if you want to make God laugh, tell him about your plans. Someone in the heavens laughed out loud and the Silkway route fell apart overnight. The carefully thought out and prepared program was changed by coronavirus. Mongolia had a hard epidemic situation. Bubonic plague broke as well, and the country was locked down. The organizers panicked but still were able to urgently redo the route. The rally was reduced to 5 racing days, instead of the prairies and sands of Mongolia, the rocky trails of Altai. Yes, Altai. I didn't think it's really so great here. It's beautiful. Racers had to change the tactics and strategy urgently. There was a 2-day marathon in the Altai Mountains, which means that help from senior mechanics is prohibited. The crew is on its own. Drive a day, finish, put on the overalls and start servicing and repair the car on your own with those spare parts and tools that are carried on board. Help can only be expected from racers of other teams, but they are busy with their trucks. Vov, is everything okay, Vov? Yeah, everything's fine. Fine, Vovchik. All the cars are intact. Tomorrow they'll run like new. If you can't get it repaired, you get penalty points and you are relegated to the tail of the standings. For sure, special attention to the tires. Sharp rocks are biting into the rubber like piranha, easily leaving you without wheels. That's how one of the top dogs dropped out of the race on this marathon stage. He ripped all his tires and there were no spare. The Sadko Next 4x4 trucks were equipped with Michelin GAZelle tires. And GAZelle NN had a BF Goodrich tires. They withstood everything, both stony roads and fords through mountain streams. Good tires, reliable. Other units of the truck did not fail either. Everything functioned like clockwork. Engines and gearboxes in many respects thanks to the excellent oils that are used by the team. These are oils from the world's leading manufacturer, Valvoline. The company has been proving its superiority not only in conventional cars, but also in racing cars for over 100 years, and Silkway is no exception. Today is actually a very interesting section, but it's very rocky at the beginning. Very so hard. Well, what do you mean hard? Well, such a trial road is quite tricky in some places. If you add that we started here last in the channel, practically we had to slow cruise very long in the dust, because the road is very narrow, stony, well, to really overtake there is not possible. At one point we were going uphill behind the lawn in the dust. There was such dust that you couldn't see anything. Finally came the 5th and final day of the rally. Lumber truck ruts again fat dust, clogging eyes, lungs and air filters, high speed and exhausting heat. GAZ Raid Sport team finished successfully. The GAZelle NN took second place amongst all-wheel drive vehicles and the T1N category. And all the Sadko Next 4x4 trucks raced to the finish line in the middle of the overall standings, ahead of many. What a speed, what a result! The trucks assembled from the standard units and components withstood the competition along with the prototypes especially prepared for the rally. Yes, the rally was held in a truncated form, but anyway we had to give it our all. And racers aren't discouraged. Everyone's happy because the marathon still took place in our difficult times, and there are new starts and finishes, and of course, victories ahead.